illegally. We already know the people that we are knowledgeable about this factor of immigration. We know that the United Nations is the one that is in charge of your borders with your proxies, that they are the NGOs, that they're the ones that they're educating the migrants to say Republicans are bad, Republicans are horrible, Republicans are racist, this is white supremacy, this is conspiracy theory, this is fear monger, this is creating hysteria, this is white imperialism, this is xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, pronounphobic, fact phobia, racist, fascist, narcissist, bigot, from the river to the sea, la 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 this, la 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 that. This is the level of education that you're giving to our people, using our people, our Latino, Hispanic people, for your political pawns, for your political votes, for your political movement, and creating this destabilization of a border through a legitimate, that it was approved. I don't know where, if it was approved in Congress or where it was approved, the CBP1 app. You have created deterrence in our country of Mexico, disrespecting our immigration law, disrespecting our constitution, and disrespecting the people of Mexico, because the government of Mexico, we already know that it's corrupt. But how far are your politicians in the United States of America different in being corrupt as the politicians of Mexico? I will tell you, not that far. This is not much of a difference as it is right now. So for you to have the audacity right now to say, oh, illegal entrances have been decreasing. The illegal entrances through non-port of entry have been decreasing. Yes, but you haven't implied and you haven't said why. And you haven't said why. Why? Because you have increased the ability to people to use the CBP1 app. A lot of the people in Tapachula, Chiapas, they're saying that their appointments, they're getting it immediately and quickly. Why? Because you want to clear and you want to filter that city to continue the massive flow, and that deterrent, it is working for you, and nobody's putting attention to the south border of Tapachula. But guess what? We already know your strategy. We already know that you're creating this deterrence for you to not have a mass migration, and for you to not have and for you to not lose an election due to immigration policies and using our people for your political pawns. We already know what you're trying to do. We already know how you are trying to use us. Of course, we're not stupid. Latino Hispanics, we're not stupid. We know that everything that you're giving into us, it is not for free, and you're trying to destabilize the Republican Party to not replace white people, to not replace brown people, to not replace black people, but ultimately, at the end of the day, the replacement theory, it is not a theory anymore. It is part of the globalization agenda, and you're trying to replace one political party, that is the Republican Party. You're trying to disappear the Republican Party. From 10 to 15 years, you will have a new generation, a border of Democrats, that the majority of the country, all these states that you're flooding with people that they're coming in undocumented, those states are going to be not red anymore. They're going to be blue. And this, it is an actual strategy that not only you have used it, but also Venezuela has used it, also Cuba has used it, also Nicaragua is using it, and guess what? Mexico, it is using it right now. Not with immigrants, but with the socialist populist political party, replacing, betting, and ultimately buying out every politician for them to stay in power. And this is what you guys have. You guys have in your Congress a uni party that is selling out to these globalists, that they're not opening up their mouths. You have the uni party that is actually just sitting down, being passive, being complicit about, they're saying, if I open my mouth, I'm not going to have an opportunity to reelect myself. I'm not going to have an opportunity to have this money monthly of the United States government, and ultimately I'm going to be displaced. I don't want that. I want to be an imperialist and be here for 20 to 40 to 50 years in power like Nancy Pelosi. This is what you're trying to do. And you're using our country of Mexico to create deterrence in every city of Mexico for you to win an election. And this, for everybody, this is the most aggravated thing about it. The Trump administration needs to know this. If the government of Mexico, it is giving the ability to the Biden administration to create these deterrents, people, that is election interference. So the corrupt government of Mexico, if they are allowing the Biden administration to create this deterrence in exchange for a huge amount of money, that is election interference, because you are helping the Biden administration to not make them look like their border is a catastrophe and they are going to have a massive influx in this next incoming month. That is November. You have a mass migration right now happening in the Darien that has been decreased due to the new policies of the Panamanian president, which is trying to do the best to control and to ultimately attack the organized crime of the cartel, which by you, Kamala Harris, Alejandro Mayorkas, and Joe Biden, it has increased 200%. The cartel has grown 200%, not only in also in technology, economically, financially, but in growth. I'm saying in growth of population and in growth of covering more countries, more continents. You have the Cartel del Golfo that is operating and moving massively migrants from Asia, massively migrants from the Middle East, through Turkey, and from Turkey to Ecuador, Quito, from Ecuador, Quito into Colombia, from Colombia bypassing the Darien Gap, from the Darien Gap all the way to the northern borders. Yes, too far away, not too long ago, there was 6 individuals, 4 of them from Jordan and 2 of them from Egypt, paying a private charter plane to leave from Tapachula, Chiapas, the south border of Mexico, into the north borders of Sonora, that state connects to Arizona. You have these type of individuals, which economically and financially, they have the way to sustain themselves, to just bypass immigration and to go on this luxurious migration to enter your country under the CBP-1 app. And that, my friends, it is how the current administration of your country, it is creating deterrence and using another country to win their elections and their immigration policies to not look horrible, which this has been the administration where more migrants have died between the limitations of Mexico and the United States of America. This has been the administration where more migrants have risked their lives through jungles, through seas, through deserts. This has been the administration which has created a more disastrous immigration policies. They have created animosity between countries in Central and South America. And also, this has been the administration who has grown the cartel and given them the possibility and the ability to understand that they can bypass and also these loopholes that they're using. But most importantly, this has been the administration who has used their proxies, NGOs, to make millions and millions and millions of dollars out of a humanitarian crisis and out of human misery without giving the priority of every country first. God bless you all. I'm opening out my mouth because what you're doing with your people in North Carolina, it is horrible. You're lying to those people. You're lying to everybody that you have decreased illegal migration. You have not. We have a huge problem in Mexico. Chile has a huge problem. Brazil, it is having a huge problem right now with Lula. It is allowing between 12 to 14,000 migrants per week through their south border. You have created this ideology of mass migration in through non-ports of entry. You with Alex Soros, your Soros in the United Nations. You're not making us stupid. The people that we know what you're doing, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is not creating hysteria. And this is not fear-mongering and xenophobia. This is the reality. You're using us, the Latino and Hispanic people, for your political gain and votes. And plus, you're bringing your progressive, mercenary, activist white liberals to create this hatred against one political party when we don't want nothing to do with your politics. God bless you all. Stay safe. Be sure to be reading. Be sure to be your eyes to be wide open of why this is happening. And like we always say, people, God's plan, it is our mission.